Aaron Whitlow from the Mark Out Movie Podcast. I'm here today on another episode of Shudder and Horror. And on this episode, we're focusing on a movie that's on Shudder. It's shot documentary found footage style called House LLC. Came out in 2015. 5 years after an unexplained malfunction causes the death of 15 tourgoers and staff on the opening night of the Halloween Haunted House tour, a documentary crew travels back to the scene of the tragedy to find out what really happened. So, this movie, I thought it was going to be so weak. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be weak. I thought it was going to be terrible. I thought it looked cheap. The cover looked cheap. The remaining two movies, there's two more after this, and the covers definitely look cheap. But this one just stood out to me. And as I was watching it, the scares that happened in this movie are really great. They do subtle things that is just really great. So, seeing things happening in the background.
I had really high hopes for this trip, really high. I thought that it was going to be more like Grand Sexual Station.
Things you didn't even realize was in frame. It's just all in this type of movie. So it's a found footage film, as I said, where we find out what a group of people, friends that got together to create a haunted house attraction, went through on opening night, and how like I read before, how so many people died this opening night with it on this tour. It's just crazy how much happens within this movie, and like I said, there's things that happen that you have to pay attention to. You have to look at and study every frame, every space within the frame of the movie, because like someone might be recording some dialogue into the camera and not realize it, but behind them you'll see somebody walk in to the room, and you wouldn't have noticed it unless you just seen that little movement in the distance, in the shadows, and that's what's so creepy. And there's some clowns that's in this movie. If you have a phobia of clowns, this movie is not going to do anything to help that. There's some clowns in this movie that is uh, horrifying. The scariest clown I've seen lately will probably be the one that's in Terrifier. Uh, Pennywise, not as creepy now, but yeah, the clowns in this movie definitely take the cake.
Tony. Whoa, shit, dude. What's up, man? What are you looking at? Holy fuck.
It's really a good movie. I gave it on Letterboxd, I think 5 stars, and it deserves it. This movie is a movie that I didn't even know existed back in 2015, and so to see it now, it was really a cool experience just to kind of go back and watch it. And then it made me want to watch the other one, so I watched Hell House Abaddon Hotel, I think it was called, Part 2, that came out in 2018. And then I watched the one that came out in 2019. I might be wrong on the time frame, but the one that came out in 2018, I think it's 2018. Um, it was almost as good as the first one. It had really great moments of scares, and they took it a different direction than they did with the first one. Although I felt like they did a little bit more exposition in this one, in the second one, that they didn't really have to do. Uh, but overall, it was still scary, still great, and it made me want to see the third one. third one, however, is the House LLC colon the Lake of Fire. It is not as good. Although I know some people on Facebook, on YouTube, have said that they really liked it and they loved how it tied things together. For me, I thought it was more of a letdown. It only had a couple of scary moments in it. Nothing that was as like terrifying, if I say so myself, like the other two, especially the first one. But they're all on Shudder. I recommend you take a look at them and see if you like them for yourself. This is a series that I want to see. I'd like to see more of these. I know that probably won't happen, but I like to see them. Such a great scary time. I was gonna initially review Daniel Isn't Real, which is a movie that is also on Shudder, which I enjoyed as well. But this one, that came out in 2015, I enjoyed more. So I decided to go ahead and feature this one. So on this episode, once again, I talked about House LLC. It's great. I recommend anyone see it, Shudder or no Shudder. If it wasn't on Shudder, I would tell you just to go find it somewhere and see it, because this is a show. This is a movie that deserves more eyes to see it. And I hate that it took me so long, but I'm glad that I was able to see it. So anyway, in between time and in the meantime, I'm Aaron Whitlow, and I thank you for marking out with us here on the Mark Out Movie Podcast YouTube channel. Thank you.